Join me as I make the creamiest cheddar broccoli soup you've ever eaten, and it's better than Panera. So to start, we will want to prep our carrots. I already went ahead and cut a bowl of them, and I'm just going to quickly show you what you can do. If you don't want to get whole carrots, you can get already shredded chips, whichever ones you want. It doesn't really matter for our last step, but I just cut off the ends, I peeled it. I'm gonna cut it into sections. And then we will cut those down again. Now, I'm not going to make actual sticks here. I'm just going to break these down so they cook quicker when I throw them into our steamer. So I'm just going to cut them down in half. And then that's pretty much all you want is sticks, which I will show you. That's for the carrots, and along with the carrots we will add in our, obviously, broccoli. For that I am using a whole head of broccoli. Let's just take off some of these leaves. And then what we will do, break them off into their longer pieces, all the way down to where we can. So right about here. So now I have a head with the stem. I'm just going to take it, chop it off. Do not throw the stem away. We are still going to use that. So, and then with these, just take it and I will cut them in half, try to get the most out of all of them. Keeping them whole is perfectly fine. So I'm going to finish breaking down the rest of this, and I will come back to show you what to do with the stem in just a second. And what we're going to do with this, because it is rich in vitamins, I'm just going to cut off that hard end. And with a peeler, I come in here and just try to get this tough exterior peeled. You can use a knife, you can use a vegetable peeler. You just want to peel it back. Just cut that and break that down. We'll just do a couple cuts. This is perfectly fine. And we will toss that in. And we will toss that in. I will then set this bowl aside. My water is almost to a boil. Once it is, I'm going to throw it in and let it steam for roughly about 10 minutes. And in the meantime, we're going to finish our cuts with our onion. Once again, went ahead and pre-cut an onion. So real quick, I'm just going to show you how to do this. I split it in half, and then I'm going to come in with my knife, and I'm just going to cut the size of our dice that we want. I'm going to come in, I'm going to pinch it like a baseball, and I'm just going to work my knife in. If you're not comfortable with doing that, you can do a high pinch, and you just work this back. Do that about 3 times. The more comfortable you are. And then the top. Then all we have to do is down, and there we go. And then we will toss this into our bowl. And the last thing we need to cut is our garlic. I went ahead and pre-peeled 3. So I'm just going to show you, I already have the ends cut. Just go in, give it a nice tap, and it should just start to peel away from the skin. I have my others here. And we're just going to give it a quick mince. Scoop that up and into the bowl we go. We will set that aside, and I hear my water starting to boil, so I'm going to get my carrots and broccoli in, and I'm going to start the base of my soup. Into a large pot, I have added 2 tablespoons of butter over a medium-high heat. I'm going to take all of my onions and I'm going to toss them in. I'm going to let these just start to sweat a little before I add in my garlic. To our onions that are just at the edge of sweating, I'm going to hit it with some salt. I'm going to hit it with a dash of pepper, and I'm going to add in all of my garlic. I will give this a stir. And we will let it cook and render down until it's done, so about maybe 3 minutes. So we've let our onions and our garlic render down to they just started to brown, so I have 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour here, and we're just going to sprinkle that in and give it a mix. We're going to make our roux, just coat that in everything, make sure it all gets coated. We are going to let that render down, and I have here is 2 cups of vegetable broth, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some in and I'm going to stir. Pour a little bit more, pour a little bit more. Make sure you stir it all in. You want to keep stirring. If you notice there's flour and it's clumping, you just want to stir till it's gone. We'll add in some more. Now that that's stirred around, I'm going to hit it with a little bit more salt. Another little dash of pepper. I'm going to now add in 1 cup. This is 1 cup of whole milk. Whole milk does work the best in this recipe. So we will add that in. And for our spices, it's party time with a ½ a tablespoon of thyme. And I'm going to add in about 1/4 of a teaspoon of paprika, except I'll take it whole and I'll just take some out. So it's a little less than 1/4. I hear that my carrots and broccoli are just about done, so I'm turning that off. And all we're going to do is mix this all together and bring it up till it's a simmer. Okay, so our base has come up to a simmer. I'm going to take just a few of my whole broccoli and some of my carrots. You don't need to do this. I do like to have a little something something that I can top our soup with. I know she'll get jealous if I only have 4. All right, so we're going to then take our mixture. Turn our heat off here. We will then add this all into our base. So for our next step, I'm going to be using an immersion blender. If you do not have one of these, you can use a regular blender and just pour it in. Careful, it will be hot, and you'll just do it that way. For me, I'm going to be doing it this way. So I'm going to take it, we're just going to go up and down, and we're going to blend it till it's about roughly in between smooth to a little bit coarse. Everything has been blended down. We're going to put it back onto the heat and add our cheese. See you there. So here I have roughly about 4 cups, which is about a pound of sharp cheddar cheese. You can use whatever type you prefer. And I am going to add the entire bag in. Let me just get that around. And you're going to let this start to melt down. You will stir it every few minutes until it is fully incorporated in. And now that our cheese has been fully melted in, you can add a little bit more dash of salt or pepper if it needs. It's always good to do a little taste test. So by the look of this, we can start to plate. I just want to take a moment and appreciate how far you've come in this video. Our soup is pretty much done. We just simply need to plate. And for that, I'm going to take a good old scoop, add that in, do one more good scoop, get that in our bowl, and then on top of that, for my wife, I like to put a broccoli, some carrots, and in this case, I will add 2 of each, and there we go. Thanks for joining me in this episode, guys. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more cooking videos and recipes. And if you have a question about this one, leave it in the comments below. If you like this type of content, consider checking out one of my other YouTube videos. Happy cooking, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.